Okay, I'm doing another one. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that there is actually a motive for this, for me to get in touch with the Josh Tolley show. Okay, what I want is I wanted a lawyer. I wanted an attorney. Steven Tyler, better known as Tallarico, the lead singer of Aerosmith, said that Jennifer Rawlinson would be famous before she died. It was a prediction that he made many years ago when I was young. However, I'm 64 years old. I'm almost 65 by March. And so far, nobody knows who I am. I would like that prediction to come true. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about my history. Okay, I was born in March 6, 1951 in the Bronx, New York, to Marion Caruso and Alfred Rawlinson. My cousin Raymond Tabano lived next door with his father, Louis Tabano, and Lucy Caruso, who is my mother's sister. Okay, I know him since birth. Okay, we sold the house when I was 7, and they moved to Yonkers about a year later when I was about 8 or something, or 9. My Aunt Lucy married a guy named John Neff, and Raymond later met Steven Tyler when they were very young. They were the best of friends. I met Steven Tyler when I was 11 at my step-cousin Dottie Neff's birthday party when she was 13. I was caught peeking in the window at 11 with Patty, who was the sister of Dottie Neff's brother, who was her boyfriend, and we were watching the teenagers downstairs in the basement making out. When Steven Tyler came to the window, he was 14, and he says, "Come on down, I'll make out with you," and I was only 11, so I ran away, and that was when I officially met Steven Tyler. Okay, Raymond stayed very good friends with Steven, and Raymond had his own group for a while, and Steven had his own group. But Raymond's group didn't stay together, and Raymond started playing with Steven. Okay, Raymond was, I think, the drummer in the Strangers. Okay, Raymond was friends with Joey Kramer, who I do not like. Okay, he was in my English class when I was in 10th grade, and he was always looking at me, but he was short, and I never really paid any attention to him, and I was extremely beautiful when I was young, so he was like just not my type. Okay, Raymond made the biggest mistake in his life when he did a good deed, and he put Joey Kramer on the drums, okay, and took bass when they were in Aerosmith, and he became the bass player. Joey Kramer was good friends with Brad Whitford, and they went up to New Hampshire. I guess they had a vote. He wanted to bring his buddy Brad in and stab my cousin in the back and get rid of my cousin. And I guess there was a vote or something. And, of course, Joey wanted Brad. And Joe Perry and Tom Hamilton, they didn't know Raymond, so they voted for Joey. And Steve was the only one that was going to keep Raymond. So it was 3 against 1. So basically, you know, Raymond was out. I also believe that there was some sort of a deal that went down with the devil, and that they made something, because I've pulled up some things about Crowley, that they had the Book of Law or something back then, and they made some sort of a deal, and my cousin Raymond would never do anything like that. I know that there was a song that he published too. I'm not sure if it was Dream On. I just spoke to my aunt today, and I thought it was Dream On, and she's almost like 92. She doesn't remember what song it was. But I know that Raymond drew the wings for Aerosmith, and he drew the wings down. And I know that Joey Kramer copied the logo and drew the wings up. He was such good friends with him, and this guy did this to him, and I just really, you know, they are so big and everything, and Raymond basically got nothing. And you know, so that's about it with that. I mean, I went to Woodstock. I slept out on the grass one night, and the next night I shared a sleeping bag with Steven Tyler. But I slept with all my clothes on, and, you know, nothing went on. Raymond was in the tent all night with Susan, and, you know, we weren't alone, and he kind of monitored it. And I was sleeping, and he was telling Steve, forget it, you know. So basically, you know, after that, I moved out to New Jersey, and I really didn't see Raymond. I didn't see Steven and everything. And when I was 23 years old, my cousin Leslie told me where Steven was living in Boston. So I went to the apartment, and some girl named Julia Holcomb came to the door and let me in. She was a young kid, like 16 years old. She had a whole bunch of makeup on. She had psoriasis all over her body, and she was smoking a cigarette. And she was very, very seductive and very, very kind of slutty, and telling me that she was a very oral person. And even though I was 23 years old, I'd never given anybody a blowjob. And I was like so embarrassed, you know, and that she was talking like that to me. And Stephen came by, and he left her in the apartment. We went for a ride in a car, and he was playing this awful tape about lesbians doing it. And I was very, very kind of pure-minded at the time, and I got very upset. And the guy that was driving the car, you know, took the cassette out of the player. And we went to some place where he was dressed really weird. He was looking to buy a television. And I don't know why, but I just left and I hopped on a train. And I left, and I think I went back to New Jersey. And I know that there's a song about that he rode a train all night long looking for Jane or something. And I always thought that he wrote that to me. I kind of loved her, couldn't tell her, a girl from New York City. But anyway, you know, it was a tragedy, the end of the relationship between him and Julia Hilcomb with the baby and everything. That's an awful story, but I won't tell my side of it right now. But I do know a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. And I just don't like the way he set Raymond up that night. Apparently, he sent Raymond over to bring some groceries. He was supposed to be out of town. And after Raymond left, the place went on fire, and she was supposed to die in a fire. And I guess she went into some chimney, and she got air from the chimney. And when the firemen broke in, she was still alive. And what I think is very, very strange, if Raymond thought that he wasn't in the area and she thought that Stephen wasn't in the area, how did Steve manage to show up in the ER? Okay, Stephen, who had guardianship on her at the time, and she was 16 years old, which I find very offensive, since my case with my daughter was a guardianship case. What, he's got guardianship on her so he could fuck a 16-year-old when he's 26? That pisses me off quite a bit. Well, anyway, they were going to have an abortion because they said it got smoke insulation, and she didn't want to do it, and the doctor left, and the doctor wasn't going to do it. He managed to get another doctor to do it, okay, and he brought her into her room with her belly wide open and everything. She said she didn't even see it coming, and under his guardianship, okay, they injected her in her stomach before she even knew what was happening, before she could even stop it, and it was for a silene abortion, okay, which the baby was 6 months in the womb, and the baby swallowed it, and the baby died. The baby was born alive, okay, and they didn't tell her that the baby was born alive, and from what I understand, she didn't even know till a month later, and they just discarded it like it was garbage while he was snorting cocaine all night by her bedside. I mean, what kind of people are these? What kind of people are these Luciferians, these people that are in the Illuminati? They sacrifice people that they love. Okay, he was going to sacrifice Julia Hilcomb, but that didn't work out, but he sacrificed the baby. And she really wanted to have that child regardless of the fact that she was 16. And, you know, she was going to go home, but she didn't think that that would be good, you know, and he told her that, you know, she couldn't stay with him anymore. His family didn't want her. And basically, I mean, she's got a good life now. She doesn't look anything like what she looked like then. I mean, she's quite conservative. She's married. She has 6 children, and I'm happy for her that it all worked out very, very well. What I don't like is that I know that Raymond had nothing to do with that fire. And what I don't like is that I feel that Raymond was set up by his best friend. Raymond is, I don't know, he was such good friends with Stephen and with Joey Kramer that he still is friends with them today. And I mean, he has passed the test. I mean, I don't understand it with him, because it's much harder for me to forgive them, to watch somebody that you love suffer when the person is actually doing the suffering, because I know it was very, very hard for me to watch my daughter suffer, you know, when they were doing that to her, you know, and, you know, the only thing that I could think of was, you know, to free her. And if, I went through 3 attorneys. I mean, my first one was 79 years old. Her name was, so many names to remember. She wasn't on the case, Maria Beltrain. And then I fired her, and I got Brandon Hartford. which was on the case most of the time, and he was basically just going to let it expire and just let them keep her and do whatever they did. He just robbed me. And then I fired him, and I got Elizabeth Hanukkah, which basically freed my daughter within 10 days with the judge. And I wish I would have had her in the beginning. We wouldn't have had to go through what we went through. But the thing is that, you know, I just wanted to give you a little history of me with Aerosmith. I've been to a lot of concerts, and there's a lot of stories, but we won't go into that now. But what I really want is I want a lawsuit in Washington, D.C. I want some very, very big attorneys, and I want to put all these people in jail. And I really believe that the public wants this. You know, they want a case against the Illuminati. And there was just so many of them, I can't even believe that I won the case in the end. My name is Jennifer Rollerson. I was very, very interested in the Da Vinci Code. I always liked Tom Hanks. And when I watched the Da Vinci Code, I did a lot of research on the name St. Clair. And I found out that it wasn't really St. Clair, that they were the priory. And I pulled up a name called Rollo, Rolloson. And then I realized that our name had been changed in 1813. Now, why was it changed? Because the cursive was all screwed up. It was Rolloson, and then the O looked like an I-N. It was Rollinson, Rollnson. They were spelling it all wrong. Then it was Rawlinson. So the name was spelled so many different ways that they established a name that everybody would be able to spell and that it wouldn't screw up in the cursive. So in 1813, they went to court, and the name was spelled Rollerson. There are 5 chapters of Rollersons in Paterson, New Jersey. I am from Minrod, the only one that is from Florida, St. Augustine, and Nancy Rollinson, and who might have been a cousin or something. The first wife was Sarah Dukes, but I come from the second one, which is more of a royal bloodline than the first one. And we come from Scotland. They originally came over here from Scotland. And, you know, they mixed into other bloodlines and everything. But if you check the name Rollo, Rolloson, it is actually the bloodline of Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ, okay? They say that the king never had a son and that the bloodline died, but I believe that the bloodline is still alive today and that the Rollersons don't even know who they are. And that, you know, they hide in open space, I guess, you know. It's Rollerson. And it's the complete opposite of the Illuminati. And I believe that, you know, Aerosmith is involved in the Illuminati, and that they've managed to keep it out of the internet, because when you search for Illuminati people, you don't usually, his name usually does not pop up. Other celebrities and other rock stars and everything, but I'm almost sure that you know, what has happened and what happened to Raymond, I'm sure that that's where it is, and that you know, Raymond is probably the only one that's going to see heaven. So that's it for now.